for attending today's iMindQ webinar, which will focus on decision-making with concept maps and flowcharts. As making decisions is an everyday activity, it's very important for us to understand the process that actually takes place. We make a lot of split-second decisions. Most of the time, we aren't even aware that a process of decision-making is actually taking place. The story is a little bit different for important decisions, where the process is a lot more complex and takes more time and effort from the decision maker. Further, once the decision has been made, it has to be implemented on a personal or organizational level. Therefore, you have to be committed to the decision and be able to persuade the others of its worthiness. Today with me is my colleague Mimi, who will show you how mind mapping with concept maps and flowcharts can help you in your decision making and in the implementation.
Hi from me too. First of all, I would like to start the webinar by saying what is our plan with today's webinar. As the title says, today we're going to explain to you how you can share knowledge with the use of concept maps, how you can improve decision making with it, how you can create a concept map, and how you can make a presentation for a concept map. The same applies for flowchart diagrams, what they can be used for, how to present a process with flowchart diagrams, and also how to create a presentation for a flowchart diagram. So those are the two parts for this webinar and our agenda for it. As a start, I can show you what are the main uses of concept maps. As I mentioned, they're used for sharing tested knowledge, to create a new knowledge. Usually they're used when you want to tell an audience how a complex system works, or to present a complex idea. It's easy to be used in the brainstorming process when you generate multiple ideas with floating topics, connect those ideas and give explanation to those relationships. They're also used for business concept mapping. You can create your business model using the business model canvas. I'm going to show you an example of it a little bit later. And also concept maps are used for knowledge elicitation. The benefits of these uses, it aids in creating a presentation, allows for quick interpretation of certain ideas or systems to others that you're presenting. It illustrates a hierarchy of ideas and how they are interconnected and what their relationship is described. It also helps in visualizing ideas, as I mentioned before, and in evaluation. I'm going to show you how to create a concept map right now. You first have to go to the file menu, and from the new category, choose the whiteboard space. Click on it, and what you get is an empty map space. To start your concept map, you have to start from one. For today's webinar, I have chosen a concept map where I'm going to show you how a service is implemented in a company, what that service uses, what is performed by, how is implemented, etc. I'm gonna point my cursor in the map space and make a double click to create this floating topic. I'm gonna write down service. An input is always consumed by a service. So I'm gonna create a new floating topic and write down input. I'm going to connect these two nodes with a relationship. I can do that by using the relationship option from the quick topic menu, where my relationship will start. I'm going to drag it to the topic where I want to. You can see that the relationship is selected, and you can label this relationship by directly typing in it. So I'm going to write that the input is consumed by the service. From the service point, I'm going to enter or create a new node. And I'm going to write that the service has a detailed performance. I can also connect two ideas and generate a new node by clicking the relationship option from the quick menu and dropping that option in an empty map space. As you have seen, a new node has been created and a relationship to it. Because our relationship is selected, I'm going to write the label to the relationship. So a service has and I'm going to enter detailed performance in the node. If the text in the node is very long, you can use Shift Enter with the cursor in between. So you can put the text in 2 rows. As you can see here, to align to the center on the previous node, I'm going to select the service node, and I'm going to use the automatic alignment option, which shows on dragging the topic, and I'm going to align my topics. I'm going to do the same with the detailed performance node, align it to the center, so my map can have a better alignment. I can also create a new node, which is going to explain to me how a service is performed by an organizational function. I'm going to write to the node organizational function. And I'm going to write to the relationship a label is performed by. So this is showing the user or the audience that you're presenting how two nodes are interconnected, and simply creating, let's say, a sentence of your explanation of and what is being told, what is being presented. Also, I can add a new node that's going to tell me that this organizational function is carried out by an organization. And also that this organization is composed of an organizational unit. To reposition the topics, I can only select the desired topic and drag it anywhere in the map space where I want. To continue, I can also write that a service, I'm going to go back to my service node, and I'm going to write that a service may use a resource from the company or from an outsourced company. This resource is limited by capacity, so I'm going to write that down too. Also, my resource delivers an output. Due to the duration of our webinar, I have shown you a very easy way how to create a concept map. I'm going to open my finished concept map, and just so you can see the entire image of the concept map. From the file menu, I'll go to the open sub-menu and choose my concept map option. So this is how the finished concept map looks like. You can start your concept map by going top to bottom. You can go from left to right, whatever suits you best. As you've seen here, I can go back to the concept map that I showed you how to create. And if you want to format a node, you have to select it or select all nodes. And if you want to change their shape, go to the topic format ribbon, and from the shapes library, you can choose any other option you want to. Let's say this. It'll get a new design and a new look. You can change the line color. I'll choose blue. And I can also change the text color, also blue. If you want to enrich the map, you can also change the background color. Make a right click on an empty map space, and from the contextual menu, choose background and format background option. A background dialog appears where you can select a color. Let's say a gray one may be used, or a little bit lighter color. Let's say this one. And here's how a concept map will get a new look the way you want. I'm gonna close this map, go back to my presentation. I'm going to continue to explain to you how you can create a flowchart diagram, what a flowchart diagram is used for, and the benefits of using. Flowchart diagrams can be used for planning a new project, documenting a process, modeling a business process. By visualizing different workflows, you can audit a process by visualizing it and find a bottleneck and make an improvement to that process. You can also map computer algorithms. It's also used for data management and process engineering as well. The benefits of using flowchart diagrams are the following. They're a better way of communicating the logic of a system or different processes. Also, with the help of flowcharts, different problems or ideas can be analyzed in a very effective and efficient manner, therefore by reducing cost and wastage of time. It can be also used for a proper documentation, meaning that the program flowcharts specifically are used for good program documentation needed for different purposes, saving you time. It's also used for efficient coding, proper debugging, and also used for efficient program maintenance. How to create a flowchart diagram? I'm going to go back to the file menu. From the new sub-menu, I'm going to choose the whiteboard option. And I'm going to start from scratch. Before I start editing or adding shapes in the map space, I'm going to open the library panel, going to the Shapes tab, and from the drop-down menu, choose Flowchart Shapes category. And here you have the most common used shapes when creating a flowchart diagram. When you make a mouse over the shape or a hover, you can see a description of what that shape means or what it is used for when you're creating a flowchart diagram. So to start off my flowchart diagram, I'm going to use the start shape. And here I can add edit start. To add a new shape, a new node, I'm going to use the same relationship option from the quick menu. I'm going to drag and drop the desired node, and what I need to choose from the library shape is a process shape. I'm going to select the shape or drag and drop the shape over the desired topic, and I'm going to write down full customer invoice from stack. What I'm presenting here is how to make a customer payment process. How to visualize a customer payment process with a flowchart diagram. Because I don't want my text in one row, I'm going to put the cursor in the middle and use Shift plus Enter to create a node with a 2-row text. After the process of pulling customer invoice from stack, I'm faced with a decision. So I have to add a decision node. One way to do it is to drag the decision node shape and drop it in the map space. To align it against the previous shape, I'm going to use the automatic alignment. And to connect these two nodes, starting from the pull customer invoice from stack process, I'm going to drag and drop the relationship option to the decision point, and I'm going to write down, does invoice have a purchase order number? I can resize it, put the text into rows, and I'm going to realign it again. So as from here, there are two decision points that can branch out from the decision point. One process is if the invoice doesn't have a purchase order, we have to contact the purchaser information. And I'm going to write to the label that this is a process that happens when the invoice does not have a purchase order number. As to show you how you can create topics, or how you can create presentations for a concept map and a flowchart diagram, and to save more time, I'm going to open the finished flowchart diagram for this purpose. Here it is, customer payment processing. Here's the final. To show you how you can make a presentation for both the concept map and the customer payment processing flowchart, I'm going to name 3 simple rules. But first of all, click on the present ribbon, where you can create your presentation. I'm going to open the panels. On my left side is the scenes panel, and on my right side is the animations panel. What's interesting and unique about our presentation mode is that we're not restricted to slides. Every information in the scene is vivid, and we brought to the mind mapping market, let's say, and we brought to the users to animate their topics the way they want to the level of topics. When you create a presentation for a flowchart diagram, as mentioned, and for a concept map, there are 3 rules. I'm going to write down those rules so you can focus on them while I'm working. These rules are the following. To start off your presentation, you always have to focus on one topic, the central idea, or several topics. The second rule is you have to use a template called the highlight presented sequence, because in concept maps and flowchart diagrams, you have a sequence of nodes which are connected with each other, and you can choose which sequences can be presented and which not. And after you're finished presenting every scenario or every sequence within the concept map or the flowchart diagrams, you would like to show the audience the entire picture or the entire image. So that's why you're going to use a template scene called show all scenes. For this flowchart diagram, I'm going to drag and drop my customer payment processing node to the left side and choose from a contextual menu an already prepared template scene code focused on topic. As you have seen, an automatic animations have been created for the different topics. What it does here, at the beginning, all the topics from the map will fade out and only one will fade in, the topic that I want to show you. My first sequence is starting from the customer payment processing, going to the pool customer events from stack, and going down to the decision-making point. So I'm going to select sequence by using Control and mouse click, and I'm going to drag the selection to the left panel, and I'm going to choose highlight presented sequence. This is one of the rules that I've mentioned here. To add another sequence is I can start from the decision point and go from the negative decision point and go to the finish line. I can also drag this selection and I can continue choosing highlight presented sequence. I can also choose another sequence and continue adding everything that I want. And the ending point is the last sequence. And at the end, on right mouse click, I'm going to choose show all elements from the contextual menu. So to show you how this presentation looks like, I'm going to click on the from beginning option, and I'm going to use space, right mouse click, or right arrow key. This is how I'm going through the presentation and how each sequence is animated. And this is how you can explain to your audience how a process looks like explain every step needed to finish that process, or every decision point which a user, customer, or an employee is faced with. I'm going to end this presentation. The same rules are applied for a concept map. So to save on time, apply these 3 rules for your concept map that you will probably create. This way you save time when creating a presentation for a flowchart diagram in a concept map. And also you do it in a very fast manner by following these 3 simple rules. You use a template scene. You can choose the template scene from the Add Scene contextual menu, or by just selecting your desired sequences, desired topics, and adding them to the scenes panel, etc. So this is how to create a presentation for a flowchart diagram or a concept map in a very fast manner. The next webinar, I can show you how you can create a custom presentation in more diagrams, concept maps, how you can change the animations, properties, etc. So that was everything that I have planned for today's webinar. I would like to see if there are certain questions. Yeah, there are a few questions that we might answer. One of it is, can I make a custom presentation of a mind map? Yes, I can make a custom presentation for a mind map. I can show it to you by using the custom mind map that I have created. Here is the mind map. I'm going to go back to the central point. The rules for creating a concept map by using template scenes are very different. Here, to focus on your central idea, you have to start by focus on topic, selecting the central idea, and choose the focus on topic template scene. To show the child topics or child categories that are connected with the central idea, you have to use another template scene, which is used strictly for mind maps, or also organizational charts or breakdown structure, which have top-down or tree structure. You can do it by selecting the parent branch, drop down and choose expand branch parallel or sequential expanding of a branch. So I'm going to use expanding branches parallel. Also, if you want to go in more depth, I'm going to continue using the expand branches parallel option. I'm going to select the parent branch and choose. As you can see, if you want to see a difference, we can go to the sequential expand branch option, and at the end I can finish by showing all elements. To see the presentation, I'm gonna go through the presentation quickly and show what we have created. This is showing all elements, and you get an entire image of the map. So I would like to thank everybody that was attending today's webinar. If you have any more questions, you can ask them in the Q&A part, and we can answer them directly to your accounts. I'm going to close this webinar. Thank you again. And to wrap up what everything was said, I'm going to explain again that I have created a concept map. I've mentioned what a concept map can be used for, its benefits of usage, also the same thing for flowchart diagrams and how to create custom presentations for them. Thank you.